DeAndre Hopkins is a Tennessee Titan. What does this mean for them? And should the Houston Texans have brought in Nuke Hopkins?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the Locker Room. Texas Talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do.
So DeAndre Hopkins gets a 2-year deal with the Tennessee Titans. He's going to be an old Oiler. He's likely going to wear an Oiler uniform against the Houston Texans if the rumors are true, and the throwbacks are going to be rocked by the Tennessee Titans when they face the Houston Texans. What does it mean for the Titans? What does it mean for the Texans? We'll get into that. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 610 and the Odyssey app. Subscribe, like, ride along. Appreciate you for coming through. Top source for Texans daily digital content. We're 10 days away from training camp. So DeAndre Hopkins signs a 2-year deal with the Tennessee Titans. I actually felt bad for Nuke because timing probably played a big factor in his market. I think it's a combination of things. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is the player that he once was, which really isn't like that huge of a knock for him because he was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I also think that he's not any longer one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I keep hearing about like the yard pace, and he would have had this many yards last year on a bad Arizona team had he not missed the games with the PED suspension coming off, missing significant time the year before. Okay, I mean, what does that mean? He's going to a run-heavy team in Tennessee. He'll likely be their best receiver. But I think the market, I think there was probably a little bit of humility with DeAndre Hopkins, but I don't think it was completely his fault. I think he's probably a better receiver than Odell Beckham Jr., and Odell getting the $16 million. I think if they'd been on the market at the same time, I think Nuke would have got closer to that. From the Titans' point of view, I think it's a great move. Tennessee's in a awkward win now, limited ceiling phase. And I don't mean that as an insult, that just the core is getting older. This might be the last year of Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry, people keep saying he's going to slow down. He's coming off a 1,500-yard rushing season with 1,200 yards after contact. So I'm not going to say that. I don't know if they're really in that much of a hurry to see Will Levis, but they're trying to win now. And if Ryan Tannehill hadn't gotten hurt last year, Tennessee would have won the division. So it's not like they're trying to develop some young guys. It's not like they're starting a new culture. Their culture is already established. You have Mike Vrabel, one of the best coaches in the NFL. You have a smash mouth, hard-nosed squad. So the culture's already established. So DeAndre Hopkins is going into a culture that's already been established, which I think is ideal for Nuke, given the practice habits, et cetera, which, I mean, he was balling out every Sunday when he was here and he wasn't practicing. But when you're starting a new culture like the Texans are, it's probably not ideal, and you're not to the point where you think you're a receiver away. And furthermore, if the Texans aren't a good football team this year, there's a good chance, how much are you going to have DeAndre Hopkins fully buying into what they got going on at this point in his career, especially not making the amount of money that he would probably like to make? And you do have some young guys you want to look at when it comes to Tank Dell, Mechie. You want to find out about Nico Collins. Nuke, I'm not sure how much better he makes you. Would he be the best receiver on this team? Probably, but he might prevent the other guys from getting better. So it's just different situations. I think from the Titans POV, it's a great move. From a Texans point of view, we said this leading up to, I thought it was a great non-move. I think they did a good job not getting involved in this. And we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But it's going to be interesting. DeAndre Hopkins, I don't want to say he's washed. I think he's a borderline top 20 receiver, right on the fringe. I do think he's definitely on the decline. The last 2 years shows that. Last year, the pace for like the yards, I keep hearing that. I don't really put a lot of stock in that either. Who the hell else were they going to throw to? And I mean, it was Arizona, the situation they were in, and there was a huge target share, which I'm sure he's going to get a decent target share in Tennessee, but in a perfect world, that's a run-first squad. But the established culture versus the unestablished culture, I think it makes sense for the Tennessee Titans. Does this like put them somewhere better? No, I think Tennessee has close to as good of a chance at winning the division as they did before. I don't see their odds. Like, we'll look at the Vegas odds. I doubt they just jump off the page because of the DeAndre Hopkins signing. But best of luck to Nuke. I think it's a good move for Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. And I think it was, as we do here, we localize it. I think it was a good decision. Thought it before, and I think it now is a good decision that the Texans didn't get involved in this, despite all the internet crap that was going on and the talk and stuff and the planted stories by Hops people, allegedly. So subscribe, like, right along, no matter what happens, whether DeAndre Hopkins goes to Tennessee and just breaks all kinds of records, whether he joins Randy Moss, Andre Johnson, and Julio Jones, who went there to basically die. No matter what happens when it comes to this Texan stuff and it comes to this Texans coverage, we're all in this together.
The angles what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localized every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube.